Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and in this installment of Tool Tourism, we're headed up to Havre, Montana to check out Leon's Pawn Shop. Havre, Montana is a small town of about 8,000 people. That ranks it about the 11th largest city in Montana, so think about that. Actually, the 10th and 9th largest are also under 10,000, so under 10,000 people, so there's that. Anyway, Havre, Montana is home to large tractors. That's one of the things it's known for. Not these little guys I'm passing right here on the road. Looks like one of them needs service. But to really big tractors. Now, there's a place just on the outskirts of town that is known as Big Equipment Company, and it is home of the Big Bud. Now, Big Equipment Company has quite a few tractors that you can rent or buy. They are large by normal standards, but they are just like the F-150 of the area. You got to have something like this if you're, plowing the incredible acreage around here. Lots of big ones, but we're talking really big, like the world's largest farm tractor. This is Big Bud, and it's sitting on 8 of the world's largest agriculture tires. This is the Big Bud 16V747. Big Bud was a company that stopped producing tractors in the 80s. It's actually back in business, and I'll get to that. This thing is absolutely massive. When you think about it, it's so much larger than most tractors. It's about 14 feet high, 25 feet wide. It's got a 1,000-gallon fuel tank, has a hydraulic fluid reservoir of 150 gallons. This thing is just amazing. It's got a 16-cylinder Detroit diesel in it. Raises 1,100 horsepower. Just monstrous. It can actually cultivate about 1.3 acres per minute. But if you have a square mile that needs to be plowed, you're going to run into a bit of a problem, given that square mile is going to take you at least 10 hours, and there are lots of square miles around here. But just an amazing vehicle. This one has traveled around, lived in California, lived in Florida, had a stint in Iowa on display. Now it's back home in Havre, Montana, which is home to Leon's Pawn, and that's where we're headed. Leon's Pawn's been around about 30 years, but because of a lot of the heavy equipment around, there's lots of tools, and Leon's Pawn specializes in tools, notably Snap-on. So let's go in and take a look at some of their tools. First of all, we've got the obligatory display of DeWalt power tools, Milwaukee power tools, battery-powered tools in this case. We've got Makita, we've got Rigid, some Hart batteries, whole pile of Ryobi tools, various flavors there. And then we get into the Snap-on cases, plural cases. This is mainly Snap-on, but there are a lot of other tool truck brands in here. So let's take a closer look. The Snap-on tools, they have some big ones that you normally don't see. Here's a 3/4-inch ratchet. Just sitting there, $325. Probably get some of this on sale. Here is a set of 5 wrenches from 1 1/16 to 2 inches. Great condition. Again, because of all of the heavy equipment, you start to see some of this stuff in person that you normally only see in catalogs. So I would love to just buy one, but you have to buy the whole set. But I bet if you go up there, you can get a pretty good deal on this entire set. Just to see these in person, I mean, they are so big, and they're the new logo, so they're a newer design here. Snap-on has a large presence because of some auto mechanic, some heavy equipment mechanic schools in the area, heavy industry. Also has an Air Force base nearby, aerospace production too. So we got wrenches, we got Torx drivers. Here's some, these look like Matco screwdrivers, a couple of wrench sets down below, some extension sets, some pry bars in the back, torque sticks. We've got some aviation tools, safety wire tools, a couple of Milwaukee slipped in there. Looks like a Matco cutoff tool of some kind. Large sockets. These are 3/4-inch drive. Looks like a big die in there. And some maybe oil filter wrenches. Torch. We've got a Snap-on air tool light. Some wrench sets. Lots and lots of speeder handles. Apparently that's a big thing. And one of the things you're going to notice is there, like on those speeder handles and in a few others, you'll see tethers Here's some individual wrenches, sockets, lots of crow's feet, especially large ones, tons of breaker bars, little ratchet drivers there, lots of long extensions, and a few, looks like older tools there. Not very many screwdrivers, kind of surprised me, but then those probably go pretty fast. Looks like we got an electric screwdriver, one of the 14.4s, some specialty sockets here. That $35 bit driver is one of my favorites from Snap-on. It's ancient, vintage with storage in the back. We've got some T-handled Allen wrenches there. We've got, looks like some larger pipe wrenches below. Move over, we've got a torque wrench. Lots and lots of extensions. Notice these are not only locking extensions, but they have tethers on them. So if they're government contracts, stuff like that, or aviation, it's probably why. Compression tester. We've got some some deep sockets, some smaller wrench sets. I was hoping that pipe wrench was a vintage Snap-on. It's not. It wasn't a Snap-on. A whole pile of 1/4-inch extensions, various sizes there. Lots of socket sets. Here's some more, 12-point, 6-point. These are all, I believe, Snap-ons, whether or not they're in a Snap-on container. Bit driving sockets. Piles of ratchets, again, some of them with the tether points, the cables on them. Looks like a scraper. This bunch of swivel sockets of various flavors. A couple of really large sockets. I think those are 3/4. Maybe they're 1 inch. I can't tell. Should have looked closer. But anyway, giant sockets there. Here's some more ratchets. 3/8 drive. Various sizes. One flex head and some huge sockets. Those might be inch sockets. But anyway, there are more things than you can imagine here. Not a lot of electronics, though. We got a couple of meters here, both of them high-end. I mean, that Klein's, I think that's a CL900. That's a good meter. Some various tools, one little scan tool there, some specialty tools, nothing too exciting. Oddly, there was only one toolbox. That was this Blue Point here in Snap-on green. Actually, I believe it's sold. Little roll cart here, but that was it. It kind of surprised me. Lots of chainsaws, mostly Stihl and Husqvarna. No surprises there, although I'm surprised they're still here for winter, except I guess Havre doesn't have that many trees. Anyway, and then they've got the usual piles, bins of screwdrivers, of individual sockets, odds and ends there, tons more sockets, pliers, cutting tools. Spin around here, we've got some corded tools, lots of saws, grinders, reciprocating saws. We've got shop heaters, we've got lights, jacks, air compressors, corded drills, nail guns, sanders, all kinds of, the tools that you would expect, routers. We've got some old school DeWalt. We've got a pile of roofing nailers, nail guns, staple guns. Here's probably more electronics and diagnostic stuff that's not Snap-on. This cabinet has some other good tools in it, kind of the desirable stuff like Gear Wrench, Icon, Quality, Craftsman, Lyle, etc. And it's got some small sets of good stuff. So it's buried in this cabinet here. Some of this looks very new, as well as a few other Harbor Freight odds and ends inside there. Anyway, this is Leon's Pawn Shop. Of course, you can also get your very own scale model of the Big Bud 747. It's only $450. I'd love to have that. It's pretty cool to see these things in person. Just amazing how big they are. But anyway, Havre, Montana, Leon's Pawn Shop, and that is our tool tourism trip. And with that, Doc out.